Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. Hi, my name is Vinny and I will be your host. BNSF 6951 shares videos on layout updates, op sessions, run sessions, rail fanning, contests, and giveaways. Vinny Built Structures shares videos on scratch builds, kit bashing, also tools, tips, and tricks, and he also does a clinic on how to do scratch builds. Finally, on Friday nights, I do a live stream called Hanging with the Cuz. That's right, if you want to hang out with a bunch of great model railroaders, come and check me out on 8 o'clock on Friday night. That's 8 o'clock Eastern on Friday nights. Anyhow, so if you guys and gals think that you might like these kind of videos, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the bell so you get notified whenever I upload a video or do a live stream. And then give me a couple of those because that'll help out my YouTube analytics. Anyhow, with all that being said, let's get on with the video. Talk to you guys later. Bye. Any vid production brought to you by Yankee Dabbler. For all your model railroad needs, check out Yankee Dabbler. Don't forget, 7% discount with BNSF 6951. And by Highways and Byways, awesome street graphics for your roads and streets on your model railroad layout. If you guys are looking for sophisticated model railroad electronics, Logic Rail Technologies has what you need. For a 5% discount on certain items, use code BNSF 6951. Alright guys, now it's time for the next step on your layout. Trees! I have been dealing with Bob for 7 years now, and he does excellent work on his trees. So if you need some trees on your layout, check out Long Shadow's Trees. Tell him the Cuz sent you. Hey guys and gals, welcome back to another Vinny Built Structures video. The building you see behind me is the building that I am going to attempt to build now for one of my subscribers, and I will reveal his name later on. But as you can see, it's a fairly nice sized building, and I'm going to get down here and I'm going to give you a slideshow of various views of this particular building. This is the station that is in Oxnard, California. So with that being said, hang on for a second. Let me switch down to here, and here we go. All right, so that is picture number one, and that is a long shot of, I'm guessing, the front of this building. I'm not 100% sure because I don't have any directions of east, northeast, west, or whatever. And here we go, building number two. I mean, this is a close-up view and a side angle of that front view that we just saw. And this is the other side. So I would assume that this would be the back side. I'm not 100% sure. But as you can see, there's quite a bit of brickwork in here. And I got that covered so far. I ordered it from JTT and from Fowler just to see the difference in the texture and stuff like that. And here's building number four, another close-up shot of doors and windows and stuff like that, canopies or awnings, whatever you want to call it. A lot of detail on the roof, lots and lots of detail on the roof. Anyhow, let me get back to this last picture here. And again, the front, another long shot. This is the entrance. I would think that this guy here would be the entrance. But anyhow, let me get back to the other camera and we'll talk a little bit more. Alright guys, so now that you've seen the build that I'm going to be doing, I'm going to show you how I'm going to start with that. So with all that being said, let's get down to the work area and we'll see how that's going to go. So ready, set, and here we go. Bada bing. Hello. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start out with actual sizes. I'm going to build this to scale, by the way. This is going to be N scale, by the way, and I have found the dimensions of this building. And so we're going to start off with the main building, which is this guy right here. He's going to be 115 feet by 60 feet. And then there's two side buildings here. I think they are 30 feet by 30 feet. I don't remember the measurements. Then you have another building here that I think is 76 feet this way and 47 feet this way. This is a breezeway here. It's 25 feet across and 50 feet long. A clock tower right here. And another wall that goes kind of like in this area right here. And then finally, there's one last building. It goes somewhere up in this area. Then, after I get that done, now I got to start working on some of the wall details. And you guys will see what I'm talking about with the wall details. Hang on, my cameras are starting to go a little bit dead, so we'll be back here in a few minutes. Be back in about 5 minutes. Alright guys, and we're back. I had to get the charger for my camera number 2. My camera number 1 is not doing very well either, so I got to kind of make this short. I did order a new charger for my camera number 1, but it won't be here till first week of February. Anyhow, getting back to this right here, what I did was, if you notice when I showed you the pictures, in fact, let me get you over to one of them right now. If you notice in the pictures, there's lots of archways. And so what I did was, I went ahead and made myself a little template. Now, I tried to keep everything as close to scale feet as far as the prototype goes, but I had to make some adjustments. For instance, on this wall here, on the wall itself, as you can see right here, it's got arches on both ends. So that would have to sit on there like that. But these two buildings run straight across the entire length of the building. So I have to adjust these now when I start cutting this out. So what I'm going to do next, well, I'm not going to do it here. I'm going to do that on my Tuesday night clinic. I'm going to show everybody how to do that. But anyhow, I started tracing out. This would be the front of the building with the 3 archways. Then this is the wall right behind it. It's got 2 doors and there's a window that's going here, and I will be using Grant Line windows and doors for this. I finally found where I can find them. And so I got to give the guy a call here later on. And as you can see, this couple of windows and doors that I'm going to buy is going to be about 25 bucks. But that's okay. Anyhow, with all that being said, I'm going to keep on designing this wall here. And we'll continue on with this at a later date. So stay tuned and we'll be back shortly. Alright guys, so now you see how I actually start to do a building. And like I said, I will be testing out some new adhesives because my real stuff that I've been using is not available, or I have not found any lately. So I'm going to try this Tamiya or Tamiya. It's really thin stuff. I've tried it a couple of times, well, at least once before, just 2 pieces of scrap plastic to see how it works. And also I seen someone doing a video, doing a build, and he was using this here Bob Smith. See, I can't, my blue screen is messing everything up. This is Bob Smith Industries. And this, oops, and this one is gap filling, and this one is thin. You can't see the label because it's blue, and I'm using my blue screen behind me. Anyhow, with all that being said, stay tuned, and we'll get back to this build on my next step. Bye for now. Alright guys, so now our next step is, as you can see, I've got 3 of the walls completed on the clock tower. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add another strip like this on the inside here, and then put our 4th wall on there. This tower, by the way, is 60 feet tall and I think 25 feet wide. I can verify that. Let me make sure I'm giving you the right information here. We are actually 26 feet wide. And this is only for the substructure. I'm going to be adding brick facade on here. And I put that guy on upside down, as you can see. See the lines? There's one line here and one line here. I screwed up. Oh no. That's all right. That's only a part of the facade that I got to put on there. This is going to get a lot of detail. So it's going to take quite a while just to build this guy, and that's before I put the brick facade on there. But anyhow, what we're going to do right now is we're going to go ahead and do a little quick measure here. And we just go ahead and slice it with my knife. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. And I am going to use my Model Masters glue. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and give this a bead of glue on the wide. Now this has got two different sizes on it. It's narrower and then wider. I use the wider side down first. It really doesn't matter. It's just preference of how you like to do stuff. Okay. And now I'm just going to go ahead and put this guy in here. I like supporting on my walls with this extra step. It just makes me feel better, I guess. That's what I want to say. I put this up against here and I'm going to push it up against the wall so I know that it's flat right here. All right, we're going to give that a few minutes to dry, and then we'll put the last wall on there, and then I will show you how I'm going to start doing the archway that's going to go between this and the main building. This is actually, I think it's the actual main entrance, because there is a road that goes through here like this, and on the side of the building there is an entrance door. You'll see all of that as I go along building this. While this is drying, I'm going to get another piece of plastic, and we're going to use my template here to draw out another one of those guys. So let me move this stuff out of the way. Alright guys, this is already dry, so we're going to go ahead and put this last wall on here. I'll make sure I got the lines right this time. That really doesn't make a difference. It's just a measurement for me to try and keep things square. But I notice on here I'm a little bit rough and I'm not all the way down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and give that a little sanding, just to make sure I get a good clean joint right there. And I'm just using an emery board. And by the way, I am using my new Canon Rebel T7 to record this video. I think I need to still make some changes to it. And we did when Roy was here this past weekend, we did go to Maricopa to do some rail fanning, and I used that camera also, same camera. I still got a lot to learn on it. It's way different from any camera I ever had. And that's not looking too bad. Let me get a little bit more. Alright guys, you know how I always preach to you guys
now, up to this point
put
on
walls
this build right here,
one way,
I was
you
using
do the same all around the entire building.
Tamiya.
Well, guess what? I made a rookie mistake. On this right here,
this is really
off. Put it into frame. I messed up on it. Yes sir, I sure did. I messed up on it.
Push it down.
And how I messed up on it was, when I say take this one and put it on the inside of this one, it's like this.
Alright,
so whatever I
up
do
until
on
this point,
side,
like I was saying, I was using a Tamiya, but because I can't get in there, I'm going to have to use my Model Masters. And that's okay, you know, it doesn't matter. As long as the job gets done, it doesn't matter.
To make sure all the time it doesn't matter which way you do it, vice versa. We do the same thing. If you take this one and put it on the inside of this, then you'd have to do the same thing on this side also. So, that being said, let's continue on this. Alright, so we are pretty much dried up right now. Again, because I screwed up, I had to take the support off. Now I have to reinstall the support. And I did change the lines, put the lines in the correct order.
This is going to be an eyeball square up.
So, let's see right now what we got.
This side.
I guess I didn't put the lines in the same order. All right, that, like I said earlier, that
after I get this done, I will show you how
so now I'm just going to go ahead and put this guy on the inside here.
Archway together.
Wait for him to dry and finally
this archway, and then when I show you, then when these two items are done, the archway and the tower, I will show you the mock-up that I've got done so far, which is the main building and some of the outbuildings. This particular building has a lot of buildings that attach to the main building.
Gluing it and put it together. So with that being said, we will be back in a few minutes. All right, guys, we are looking at now the templates I'm going to be using for what you just saw as far as the structure I'm going to be building.
Even with each other.
I use this
on this one
as a template to make the arch, and I want to see if I can cut it out with my knife, and I was able to cut it out with my knife, and I'm using. This here is the 40 thousandths, but what I'm using to actually cut this out for the build is 20 thousandths, and I'm going to be building it up, just like you see right here.
I didn't get the
I'm going to be cutting two out, but I noticed in the pictures that it doesn't just quit right there. It actually extends into the main building.
Right.
So
I'm gonna let this go right now, and we will
you can see
get
that I have
on the next one of these guys. So stay tuned.
Also,
and we will be back
if you
in
saw,
a few
if
minutes.
you looked at the picture, and I'll have it up maybe behind me when I do this video, but you can see that the door itself is actually recessed into the building. So that's what this is all about right here. And it also has a little archway window on top, and then it also has a circle window on top. So all of that's going to be done on this piece. And this again is a thin plastic. And I explained to you guys yesterday or earlier in this video that when I put the brick facade on here, it actually becomes 1 millimeter thick and pretty strong. So with all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and cut this all out and build this little wall right here. So I'm going to cut the door. I already have the door out, and I have a little archway window kind of in there. And then up here I'm just going to drill a hole. And I can't duplicate the brickwork that's there, so I'll just have to see how I'm going to work that out. But anyhow, with all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and cut this off camera, and I will be back shortly. Alright guys, we are going to continue on our build here for this Oxnard train depot, Amtrak station, and a bus terminal in Oxnard, California. And we're going to work on this little door section that I was showing you guys earlier. And we're going to go ahead and start putting this together. Now, I'm seeing, and I'll show you guys later in the picture, maybe I'll bring the picture up here. I'm thinking that the depth that the door goes in is about 5 feet, and this piece right here is number 180. Hold on, I get it for you. 189. There you go. This 189 is exactly 4.5 feet across here. So I think that that's going to be cool. So I'm going to take this wall right here, and we're going to glue him on the back like that. I'm going to take this wall and glue him on the back like that. And this wall should equal what it was originally of 75 feet. So, with that being said, let's get going. I'm doing this piece full length. Well, I think what I am going to do in this case right here is I am going to make this wall actually out of the thicker styrene, just to give it a little bit more support, because this thinner stuff is going to have to be glued to these two parts right here. So we'll save these two pieces for later. I just need to get a measurement off of them. This guy here is 23 and a half. And that should be the same for the other side, 23 and a half. Let me just make sure. This one is 30. How come that's 30? It should be the same. Unless I didn't cut them in the middle. Uh-oh. Well, I'll just go ahead and I'll measure this out again. All right. We'll be back in a few minutes. All right, guys, just to show you the progress I've been making on this main entrance, as they are calling it. As you can see, I've got the door frame in there, and I've got the archway above the door, and I've got the little circle up there on top. That'll all get acetate when I get done painting it. I had to do it this way because to do the next part, I need to have this part pretty much assembled. And then we also got this side wall on. And yeah, it's pretty flimsy right now, but after I put the brick facade on it, it'll stiffen right up. And plus, I'm going to give it a little bit of security with some styrene strips inside. But all the doors and windows are cut out for that particular wall. Now, the next thing I noticed, looking at these pictures, I've been looking at the pictures quite a bit. And what I noticed is the archway, when I first designed it, I designed it like this. Well, that's almost right, except by me looking at the pictures, I found out But it actually has to be like this because it sits into this building here, or at least the roof does, and has to have the support for the roof. Plus, there's a little passageway in there. So I need to have this thicker than what it is because of the styrene that I used. So I made a second one like this, and what I'm going to do is I am just going to go ahead and laminate this one onto here. I added a bunch of number 175 strips on there, as you can see. And so right now, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and lay out a bunch of glue on here. And I will be using my model masters on this. I just, for these long runs like this, I like using my model masters because it gives me a little bit of work time. So, that being said, let's get going. I think I'm going to do the actual brickwork as I go along. And see, I also put a piece here in the arch. I want this to be pretty secure, and this is all going to have to be sanded down to get the arch a little bit better. I freehand cut the arch on this, just with my X-Acto knife, and so it's not 100%, so I'm going to have to work on that a little bit. But anyhow, we're going to go ahead and put these two guys together. That. And we'll get it up on there, and like I said, I'm going to have quite a bit of work to get this to be a match. It's pretty hard to cut this arch out, but overall, it's not really too bad. I actually need to make another one of these. That means I need to cut out 2 more of these templates, and I'm going to use this as a template after I get it nice and pretty the way I want it. So with all that being said, stay tuned, and we will be back in a little bit. Alright guys, what you're looking at now is the station I am building for Roy. It is, well, part of the station I'm building anyhow. But these pictures that you see in front of you right now are the pictures that I am, the area of the structure I am working on. Anyhow, I'm going to show each one of these pictures, and I'm going to show you the build according to what you see in the picture. So, first one is we're going to start here on the top, and this I think is called the employee entrance. And so we'll pop it up like that, and as you can see, that there's a steel door here, a door with glass in it, a window, this 36 9-pane window, and another door with glass in it. So this is my representation of that, as you can see. Hope I mean, this is the first time I'm actually doing a solo with my new camera, so I don't know. I don't think it's in focus. I can't see if it's in focus. But anyhow, that's one side that I've been working on, and this I made all as one structure, which incorporates 3 different structures, 3 different parts of the building. All right, so let's see. We'll get that down here. The next part is I'm going to show you is let me get it up here so you can see it. The part that I just showed you was way over on this side. It's the wall that goes down that way. This part right here is all part of the front wall that I have built. And as you can see, well, no, you can't see if my fat hand wasn't in the way. In the prototype, there's a steel door there and a double door here. Now, I don't have this particular type of door. I don't know if I'm going to try and make it, but if not, I already have a door that I'm going to be putting in there. All right, and so we'll move on to the next part of this. And that's going to be, well, let's do this one next. Get him up here. And the picture you see now is what they are calling the main entrance. And because right here in front, there is a curved driveway where you can drop off passengers and so on and so forth. It goes into the terminal. What you see here is a reflection of what's behind it. But anyhow, this is my interpretation of that, as you can see. You can see the arched window above the door and the circle. I don't know what I'm going to put in there. I don't think I'll put any in there, just a piece of acetate. But anyhow, I had to build this whole framework, as you can see in there, just to accommodate that type of a door entrance. And then we are going to be working on, or we started working on, let's get this out of the way, is this guy here. Now this is going to connect to the clock tower. I'm calling it a breezeway, which is basically what it is. But anyhow, you can see right here, the yellow down here is the picture that we just looked at. You go into that little cove right there, that's the main entrance. Anyhow, this was the original that I had built for that. But then looking at all the pictures, I have, I think, 27 pictures of this particular structure that Roy has sent me. Anyhow, after looking at the pictures so much that I noticed that it wasn't just the arch that stopped and started here. It's actually got a little passageway between the column here and the main wall here, and that this actually goes into the main building. So I redesigned my deal, and I came up with this. So now this part here would be this upper section up here. And this piece here would be inside of here, and then here's my column, and then my curve, and then my other column. And then the tower, which is the next thing I will show you. Let's see, bring this down here, and bring this guy up here. This is the clock tower. Now, basically, it's just a square box, and the main thing about this square box is the detail that's in here. All of this. And the way they jet these extra stanchions out on the sides here, and then it's got some looks like cement beltway. Then it's got the Oxnard Transit Center. I'm not going to have that. I'm not going to do any lettering on here. It's got a multitude of peaked roofs on this entire build. I don't know how I'm going to do the clock. That's something I have to think about. Maybe somebody could 3D print that for me. That would be cool. Anyhow, let's see. Let me get back down here, and to show you. Oops, I shouldn't have did that. It's not what I wanted to do. If I do this, you can see how many pictures I got of this particular structure. Alright guys, for the final part of this video, part 1 of this build, as I told you earlier that I did make this my original one, and we're going to convert it to this one. So, what I did was, on this, and again, this is the 20,000 stick study, it's just easier to cut, but as you can see, I'm going to have 2 of these to cut out, and that's what we're going to do now. And I'm going to cut the curves, the arch, out with my knife. So, with that being said, I think we should get started on this little thing here. Now this is the exact size. I did trace it up for that, so when I cut this, I will cut it on the line. And I did replace my blade in here, and I also will be doing a let's see, I think we can go to this one, or we can go to this one. I think the overhead will be better. Alright, so just slide this over a bit. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to slice it down this way, and I'm going to slice the entire thing. And I will be cutting on the line like I said. Alright, and here we go. First pass is always very light, just to get a groove going. And as I do this, I slide my hand down because this is a long cut, and I don't want the ruler to move. That's probably good enough to bend. And there you go. Now I'll cut the vertical here, and I will also use a shorter straight edge. And again, I'll be cutting it right on the line. Okay. Now comes the hard part. Excuse me. Let me get situated here. Let me get a drink of water, and I will be back in a minute. Alright guys, I am back. But before we start cutting this, because I have to cut this curve out and I'm going to be using my knife, we're going to change the blade. So now, this knife is a little bit hard to get the blade in and out. So I have to use a pair of these because I don't want to slice my thing open. Now this blade I just got is relatively new. And there's the blade. Alright. So we're going to start with the curve since that's the hardest part. And my first cut's going to be very, very light. Again, just to get a groove going and try to stay on the line. Here we go. Do this. Alright. And again, this is a slow process because I got to go over this several times. Alright guys, now that I have both pieces cut out, now I'm going to go ahead and make a frame for them, actually for just one side. And we're going to use this number 175 evergreen strips, styrene strips. And we're just going to use my chopper to cut it out. And this is just going to be some rough measurements. I'm not going to go too crazy on this. You got to remember, this is always going to get covered with the brick facade. And I'm going to need 4 of these. So I guess I should see if I can get this in there. Right, that's one. Now the trick I'm going to show you with this, two, you have to hang on. Three, and four, and this one, get right across the top. So now we're going to start with this, and then we'll continue on. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put these in the verticals, and this will be the horizontal. So we'll put the horizontal in first. And again, because it's such a long run, I'll be using my Model Masters glue. I like the veneer. It seems pretty good. I have not used that other one, Bob's Industries. I have not used that one yet. Totally anyhow. And these I already checked are very close in size. I will get it as close as I can, sand down whatever has to be sanded down. And again, it doesn't have to go all the way to each end here. It just has to be flush with the top. Alright guys, as you can see, I have all my bracing on here on the entire thing. And this will get sandwiched between the other half that comes out. So this will go like right on top of that. Now, this is a little trick. I don't know if I learned it or if it was already available or what, but maybe I saw it just in the back of my mind. But what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to go ahead and start this by cutting this angle right here. Alright, now that I have my angle cut, what I'm going to do is basically just take this and just keep rubbing my hand like this, and then eventually, from the heat of the friction of the hand on there, it'll start to bend it, and it'll make it a lot easier to bend it around that curve. And I can feel the friction in my fingers. And as you can see, it's starting to bend. We don't want to do too much. We want to follow the curvature here. And to start this off with, we're going to use a little bit of this Gorilla Glue, just to hold it down there for the first start of the curve. And then we use this right off the brush. Put a little bit of Gabby right there. And we'll put this by in here. And you can see it already has somewhat of a curve in there, so it'll be a lot easier for me to bend it. So I'll put this guy in here right alongside the edge of my curve, and I'll hold him there for a second or two. I know you guys say, well, why do I do everything the hard way? Well, I'm not good with math, you know, and so for me to do stuff like this, I would never be able to figure that angle out. So that's why I do it the way I do it. And then as we start to dry up, we can start to form this a little bit more. Just keep tweaking it. The road was not dry yet. Actually, I think my Model Masters glue dries faster than that. Dries easy on your fingers, I'll tell you that. And that's the only time we're going to use this, is just to get it started. And the rest is going to be with just my Model Masters glue. You see, if it's holding in place right now, you can start to bend it around. Close to the edge as you can get it. There you go. And now what I'll do I will go ahead and cut my second angle. I'm going to do that right here. Just like downtown. Now all I need to do is put glue in there. Alright, so let's just start here, just run it around, run up the side right there, and keep down that little down there. Now I'm going to hold it here for, for a few minutes. So as you can see, it made a nice curve right there. So whatever is sticking out right there, I can just sand that down nice and easy, and I'll have a nice smooth curve under there. Because what's under here is actually a wood facade about halfway up, and then there's wood trusses that go across that actually support the roof. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. And I told Roy that there's a lot of stuff on here I might not be able to do. Originally, I wasn't even going to accept the job, but I decided, you know what, it's a challenge, and I'm not going to back down from it, and I decided to do it. And so far, it looks like it's coming along okay. We'll see. Anyhow, this should be holding in place by now. And I'm going to give this a few more minutes to dry before I put the second piece on. And once I get the second piece on here, I will show you the three pieces that I did tonight, or today, or this week actually, how they're supposed to be. So stay tuned, and we will be back in a little while. Alright guys, you're looking at in front of you right now is the two breezeway portions of this build. I'm going to show you how this is going to get set up here. And so we're going to have the clock tower here, and then this guy is going to be like this over here, and then he will go like this, and he will go like this. Oops, come on now, stand up and be pretty. Oh well, I don't think it's going to stand up. Yeah, you guys get the idea. So that's how that portion is going to look. And you guys can see it in the upper left-hand corner, side view of that. So yeah, anyhow, I hope you guys and gals enjoyed this part one of the Oxnard train station build. And as always, your questions, comments, input, subs, shares, and likes are always welcome. For now, that's all, folks. BNSF 6951 and Vinny Built Structures. Out for now.